We thank you for accepting to be interviewed. Also, today's a discussion on you. I'm Annette, Western. I come from Western. Doing my research. I'm an agronomist from Western region. So we are doing this research to hear your challenges and how can we improve. When we get your responses, it will help us to improve our supplements that we supply to you. I want to introduce you, and also I want you to introduce yourself. I want to welcome you, and I want you to introduce yourself. My name is Moses, CEO of Mozart Farm Enterprises. We have two shops, one in Masaka, another one in Chamulibwa, Kalungu district. How is your day? How is your day in terms of sales? How do you manage your stock? We have two branches here and in Chamlivo. Both have workers. They open in the morning. Also, we start the program as it is scheduled, and also we go to the next shop and also we open similarly as we wait for the customers. Can you explain to me in detail about these programs which you conduct in, in terms of sales? Usually the customers they come, but during the off season the number of customer is less. So in season you usually have 1 million to 1.5 million. Are there any problems you face in your daily operations, like inventory or stock? Are there any challenges in your daily operations? Sometimes customers demand stock which is not available. Otherwise, nothing, other things are good. Is there any pro challenge like do you have any problem with increasing your customer base? most times the customers ask the question which we know. All companies have different agronomists in different areas. So most of the farmers come when they know exactly the product they want. How is your relationship with the suppliers? The relationship is good. I cannot complain about it. You make an order and it reaches in time. If you make the orders in time, how is your payment? How do you clear the payments in time? And how is the quality? In most of the companies, we have relationship with suppliers. If these people trust you, you can pay even after some time, even after 2 weeks. After you establish the relationship, there is no problem with that. Do you pick these products from the company or you have some agents? I don't pick them from the companies. I don't pick it from the company, but I have sales agents. You make the order with the agent or representative. They make the delivery. What is your idea about credit scheme? What is your input about credit schemes? Apart from EDG, are there other companies which give you products on credit scheme? Apart from EDG, there are so many companies which give me credit scheme. But I think these agreements have to stay between the supplier and the agro dealer. If I speak with the supplier, he can understand me more than the top bosses. The person who is in the field, uh, that relationship with the person who is in the field is really important. Is more important. The person who sends, the person who is in the field, he knows how the business is moving. So that relationship is really important for the management of that credit scheme, or so they can give even you some more time for repayment. But the bosses, in the companies, they just know the agreements only. But if this time for repayment is due, they cannot understand. But if it is a person individually, they can understand. So it is more personal issues or personal relationship issues. Do you have any problems with your suppliers, like delays? Or wrong orders? I've never obtained this problem. Most making and sometimes I make order which you find that also it is out of stock at the company. but that is not the problem. But the relationship is not bad. There are no grudges with the suppliers. To decide what you are going to buy, how do you decide on what to purchase? It depends on the stock which I have. Sometimes I decide if I'm on the track. I have to I check some new products. Sometimes I have to go in the track and check product by product. In Uganda, I have 2 seasons. In these 2 seasons, how do you decide to make the purchases in both seasons? There are 2 seasons, but the most challenging is the one from August up to October, because it is short. So we make orders depending on the season. Like the season in March, we cannot make a lot of orders because it won't move like the last season. If you buy a lot of stock, and you may find that the products are stuck on the shelf or near expiry, you buy new products and you think they will be sold off quickly. How many times do you receive these problems? It happens when you pick the things from the order. Sometimes you can speak with the agents to replace the products, or you keep on selling the product until it replenishes. If you find that you have products which are stuck on your shelf, do you throw those products away which are near expiry? Do you cut the price? How do you manage them? Those products which have stayed on the shelf for a long time. Yeah, true. We have sometimes to cut the price to weigh out the cost. If the expiry has another season, we can wait for the next season. Sometimes we just dump it off. How do you decide the things you will purchase on credit and on cash? It depends on the demand. If there's some products which you buy and then you sell within 30 days. So it depends on the season and what are you buying. If it is sowing time, if you buy maize on cash or credit, so this thing which is going to delay to bring back the money, you need to buy on credit. But the other products you need, you can pay on cash because the money will be regained quickly. But the products which have high returns, you can pay them on cash. What is your hardest part? Managing the customers who need credit on farm supplements. Like farmers or agro dealers, if they need credit facility, how do you manage? The biggest problem we face with credit, usually the customers, they meet us here at the shop. So sometimes this relationship is established at the shop, at the place of buying. Yet sometimes we don't know their places of residence. So if these businesses lack trust, you may find that there are so many default payments. So also we have some issues with tomato farmers. If they make a loss, also you find that also you're making the same loss. Sometimes we even know them, but sometimes you see they have made a loss. So sometimes you feel like you cannot pick anything from them. You cannot blame them. You just have to. These companies which offer credit, how many days do they give to clear the credit? They don't give you the time or week or month, they don't give you, but they give you products so that you can pay in time. Also, if you pay in time, it increases your credit score. But if you delay, also we have what we call man-to-man agreement. If you pay quickly, is the time you receive more stock. Who decides the period for repayment? Is it depending on the quantity or the price you are buying? Who has the powers? The power remains between you and the company. It's about your agreement. Maybe you can pay me within 5 months or 3 months. Have you ever agreed about a certain period and then you exceeded the period due to unknown circumstances? And how did you deal with it? It has ever happened in written agreements, but in mouth agreements and the relationship between the distributor, between the sales the salesperson and the distributor. So we just try to negotiate about the timeline to clear. We may not clear in the exact date, but we make sure we clear off the payment and the agreement. Do you usually have price haggling with your farmers or price wars with your farmers? I have no challenges with that. But these companies establish some agronomists in different villages. These days, these agronomists, they explain everything to the farmers. So usually the farmers, they come when they know exactly what they want. How do you handle such issues? How do you solve? Unless the stock is still available. Depending on the agreements, if it is still written, they can cut off the stock, which is to clear the debt. So, but in any way, we have to find a way how to clear that debt to repay. Have you ever participated in any government programs? No. Never participated in any government farmer subsidy schemes. How is your day during the off season? Really, the customers are very low during off season. It is really down. Which percentage do you make in the off season compared to the in season? If you make 50 million per week in a season, what percentage do you make in off season? So you may make 5 million if it is off season because there are few customers. Usually it is a quarter. If you are making 1 million in the off season, you make 250. You said you have branches in other places. How many workers do you have? 4 workers. How do you manage your stock between the two shops? Do you make stock taking every day or every month? How do you differentiate what is coming in and what is coming out and what is lost? How can you trace? So in the main branch where I'm in charge, I can see and also identify, but everything what is sold also passes through a system. but also we can identify through the system what is sold and what is still available. Have you ever tried to count physically each which is available? Cross-checking one by one the things which are in the shelf and those which are in the records. Do you do that cross-checking? And if you do, what time does it take you to do? Which period do you do it? We perform it every week in all branches. Apart from giving, also selling farm supplements, are there other services you provide to them? No, I don't have any other service which I offer to my customers. Why don't you have time? Because I don't have time. Why don't you have any service? Because there's no time. There's no time. There's no time. If you had time, what services do you think would you include if you had time? I would train more. I would train more farmers. Yes. If a person inquires about the usability of the end product, how do you handle that issue? Usually I get some information from the suppliers before selling it. The suppliers, they inform me the usability of the product, then I'm able to buy it and they deliver the same knowledge to the last person, depending on what knowledge I perceived from the agents or the suppliers. Are there other sources of knowledge about the usage of the products? Also, on the labels on each product, which shows you how to use. In my free time, I go and revise and check how it is being used. Is it only that, or is there any other source of knowledge where you get to know how different products are used? There are some social media platforms. There are so many companies offering different products. Are there companies which make agro-dealer trainings? Do you think they're doing it enough? Or do you think there needs a change? Do they do it or they don't? Few companies do it. So are there some companies which have never done any? Are there any companies which have never done any agro-dealer training? One is ADG. So if they are to do these trainings, they should do it after what period in a year? At least they can do 2 trainings every season. Why do you think these trainings are needed? It gives us more information about their products, also more about the companies. Also, you have so many questions to their company and different products. Is there any way you capture data for your customers? And how do you capture it? I have data for my customers. So we have the contacts for our customers so that we can trace and check the quality of the products. We have a book where we keep all the information, where we keep the contacts of these customers. Is there any social platform? Is there any platform which you use to promote your agribusiness? Which app is it? Which app? Which app did you use? We use WhatsApp, Facebook. We advertise on our page, Mozart Farm Enterprises. If the companies or the suppliers start these more ordering apps, what is your say on this issue? It will not help us because I have my relationship with my farmer, which it means they have blocked me from accessing my farmer. It means for me I'm working for the company. Do you mean that these platforms like KFC is agric? Like if these platforms are established or by the companies, if they're established by the companies, do you think we need these apps, all these platforms? Do we really need them? Really, we don't need them. Why we don't need them? Because they block one chain of supply, demand and supply. It is not going to help us. It will even affect the company. A company which has digital platforms, I will depart from all the products which don't have digital platforms, and I will only buy products from a digital platform. Because it does not consider the customer relations, because different suppliers have different relationship with their customers, and they know how to handle their customers at a local level. Do you have any challenge meeting your customers who are deep in the village? have that problem because of 3 reasons. I have that problem because of 3 reasons. Because one is because of time. You don't have time to visit them. Even the cost, transport, and most times you find that there is not much profit to benefit. If you sell one bottle of one glycosol, if you sell one bottle of glycosol, you obtain 3,000 as profit. But if you use that 3,000 to visit one farmer, you may even spend more than 5,000. So you may find that there is no business. What happens if you find a product has a problem, yet you sold it to one farmer? Who is responsible? Is it you? Who bears the cost? Is it you, the farmer? As per now, I'm responsible. As for now, I'm the one who is to be responsible. But if I have an agreement with the company, because I have a delivery note, but it depends on the agreement I have with the company, because sometimes I have a delivery note from the company, so because they supply to me their products. But if I have the agreement with the person I'm selling to, then it means I'm responsible. How do you know that the product was fake? How do you discover that the product was fake? And how do you come to conclusion? And how do you come to confirm that this product is defective? We trust our farmers most of the time because of the time we have been working together. Sometimes we give them other products to replace. Sometimes we spend some money, we visit their farms to check their reports. Also, we have some agronomists. Sometimes we inform them of the issue. So we tell them also to visit and help us to check. These farmer trainers, they give us the good feedback, the best feedback, if the product came out well or not. how do you differentiate between the customers who are lying and those who are saying the truth? What percentage you need to differentiate? What percentage you need to confirm that really what they're saying is true or they're just lies? If they come like 3 customers and they complain, we have to take an initiative. If you receive these complaints, it means there's an issue. There are some customers who come to you and they want quick refund. They don't care about how you explain about the product. They just say that your product is defective, it cannot work. So how do you deal with them? Sometimes you have to refund them. If they are aggressive, we just have to refund, because these people, they don't know company, they don't know even the supplier, they just know you. If you decide that this product is defective or it cannot work, so how can you deal with the rest of the stock in case one product is defective? I have to call the supplier and he has to return back his products and he has maybe to change. If he's your friend, maybe if he's not your friend, it means they will just care for money. So really the relationship with the supplier and the agro dealer, the relationship has to be strong and also has to grow more. Do all companies accept to return back the supplies? Do they allow to return these products? Some they allow to return the products, some they don't allow to return. You said you have 2 branches. How long have you been in business? 10 years. In Masaka district, there are so many shops nearby you. So how do you manage the competition? Most of the time it is the price. Sometimes if our profit is 30,000 on one product, sometimes we have to reduce our profits so that we can sell low to maybe gain 2,000 from one bottle, so that you can sell and also procure more. Apart from price, is there any strategy which you use to be competitive in the market? Another one is the friendship between you, the farmer, and the dealer. You make a friendship even though you are not alone around, they call you. Only 2 things. Also there's another one which is called trust. So is this trust between you and the supplier or the farmer? This trust is cross-cutting, either the supplier or the farmer. When the trust is established with the supplier, I can receive more products and then I can submit them to the farmers. Even in terms of credit, that trust is elaborated through the trust, through the relationship you have with your supplier, is translated by that relationship with your supplier. If these suppliers give you a loan of 10 million, also you can give out a loan of 1 million. So it means the loan you have got or the credits you have got from the supplier can also help you to sustain another loan of 1 million. Apart from the cost of goods, are there other expenses which reduce your capital or profits? Especially one is rent. It reduces the profit, the labor, paying workers, also those people who carry the luggages, who stack the stores, even the transport. We have different branches. All these costs from the branch, even from the main branch to the other branches, that cost is. Are there any other costs which reduces your profits? Are there any default payments? Yeah, those things happen a lot. Sometimes also we are affected by the seasons. Because of change of seasons, instead of selling five bags, you may find selling 2 bags. What do you have to say about the packaging? Does it matter in business? Usually in the season you have issues. Sometimes maize comes in different packages. To convince a person that it is the same product, it is really a problem because of these changes in the packages. It means there will be a reduction in the profits. Is there any part, Mr. Mozart, is there any part where you feel we have not tackled? Which part we have not talked about? which you feel like you have to emphasize more? This goes specifically to the companies which send sales agents. Sometimes they offer us credit to pay within 2 weeks. Sometimes we request more time for repayment. We request the companies to give power to the agents to increase the time for repayment. The time for repayment, it will help us. I pay after I've sold instead of reducing on the stock in the store. Is there any other issue which we need to emphasize more? I want to thank the companies which send really good people in the field. What are your last words in terms of maybe thinking or conclusion? We thank the company for sending good people. They can handle us very well. And the trainers, they do a very good job. The farmers, they come ordering things which they are knowledgeable about. They know. So it reduces the time for explanation. So thank you for sending people who can give things on credit. Like in our like EDG in Masaka, we have Madam Annette. He can offer you products on credit and then you pay within 1 month without pressure. So the relationship with the company is very strong. If Madam Annette sells to me anything, so I feel like it is the company. Yet it is the relationship between the agronomist, Madam Annette, and the dealer. I pray that you send more workers like her. Thank you for being with us in the interview. Also, we have taken notice of what you have told to us, what you have said to us. It will help us as ETG, and also it will help us to improve on the farm practices of agriculture, and also help us in market research. Also it helps us to know the market, to how the fragility of the Uganda market, and where to put more effort and where to improve more. Names Tumkudanet from ETG Uganda, located in Namamve. Thank you very much.